So this is a set of pickups that I picked up off Amazon for a project. I've got a couple of projects coming down the pipeline that need humbucking pickups, and these had some properties that I really liked. Um, More about that later, but they're just a very basic, inexpensive pickup. Not too much to write home about here. Brass base plate, and as you see here, they've got two conductor leads. Here is the second part of the project. These are Alnico magnets that I ordered online. So I've got a set of Alnico 2 here for the neck, and these are a more inexpensive set of Alnico 5s. They're going to end up going in the bridge pickup for a slightly more aggressive sound. And just taking a quick look at these, I mean, there's not much here. There's nothing magical about magnets. The first thing we're going to have to do is take this guy apart, which means desoldering the pickup cover from the base plate. Now, this is a new lead-free solder. This is put on in a factory in China with some very, very high wattage tools. And even my bigger soldering gun would not touch this stuff. It simply would not melt. So this was a little bit frustrating, and you're likely to run into this with more inexpensive pickups. So what I ended up falling back on was just using a utility knife. So you can also get away with using a saw, but a utility knife will cut through this very easily. Just, be careful, and should pop the cover away from the base plate, and then you can take the pickup apart. And this is just your bog standard humbucker. You've got two plastic bobbins. There is a ceramic magnet in there, a great big thick ceramic magnet, which you can see here, somewhat out of focus. And all of the wiring's on the other end. We're going to be very careful that we don't damage that. So what we're going to be doing here is loosening off these mounting screws on the base plate. You don't need to remove them completely, just loosen them off a couple of turns. And on this particular pickup, which is wax potted, they were stuck a little bit. They took a little bit of torque to get them to break free, but no big deal. So just loosen the four of them off, just a turn or two. And that should give us just enough slack that we can very carefully push probably something non-conductive in the other side and just push that ceramic magnet right out the other side. So you can see there's a lot of wax residue on here. This has been wax potted. And now to figure out which direction to orient the replacement magnet, you just stick it to the old magnet. Magnets have a north pole, a south pole. I think everybody understands this. You want it to match the magnet that you're taking out of the pickup, and the quickest way to do that is just stick it on there. The way that it sticks on there is the way it needs to go. So I'm going to very clumsily identify the top of this magnet. And just in case I want to put this back together at some point here, I'm going to identify which way this one goes as well. So I'm just marking that. And then it's just a simple matter of swapping them out. Pull one out, put the other one in. And that's basically it. I'm not going to repot this. I don't think it's necessary on a pickup like this. You can see there's a little bit of a gap there. I did end up going back and shimming this. I used a little piece of veneer. But once it's in there, everything's tightened back down again. We can just put the cover back on. And then we're going to resolder the cover to the base plate so we get the full EM shielding and everything just holds together nicely. So back to the big soldering iron, a little bit of flux and some solder. And there we go. Not the prettiest soldering ever, but this is why I kept the cover on the pickup. So once all was said and done, you can see that the chrome plating is unmarked. So we've now swapped out the magnet, which is the most important part, but Amazon catfished me on this project. So this is the neck pickup, and this is the reading I get off the bridge pickup. This was supposed to be a matched set of 8K humbucking pickups, bridge and neck exactly the same, just like a vintage, 59 burst. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to try and track down another set of pickups and do this again.